I want to ask you about the play before, the bad play with Jordan, how he came off Amari and found Dominic. What did that tell you just about how he understands reads, progressions, everything else that goes along with it?
That was a great play. I mean, he, situational football added on top of it, right? Critical moment right there. So that was a great play. I think he did a great job of not panicking, and then he just showed some of his gamer that he got in him, and I thought he played really fluently yesterday. I thought he did a really nice job. That particular play was really cool because he just came off of throwing one of those types of routes to Reggie a couple plays before that too. So it was I thought he did a really nice job. That was a really cool play.
Luke, obviously Aaron was so comfortable with Corey Lindsey as a center for so long. What have you and Aaron tried to do, to make it easier on Josh? We're all talking about what Josh is doing, but what is Aaron doing to make that, thing work out?
No, I think anytime there's a young guy, center, whatever position, that gets in that huddle with him, he does a great job of kind of just building them along. And he's done the same thing with Josh, kind of where we started training camp. And now you can see these last 2 weeks, he's really diving into a lot of deep stuff with them these last 2 weeks. So he did a really good job of just kind of slowly progressing along with them, finding the comfort level with each other, finding ways to communicate with each other because their communication is crucial. And so there's been moments in camp where they've he's had to get on Josh and Josh has responded tremendously. And I think that relationship is just getting better and better every single day. But I think it was a really nice progression throughout camp and last week, and we know the environment we're about to go into. So Matt's done a great job of kind of sparking that for us now, getting us used to that kind of environment in our practices.
So the other day when he yells at him, snap the effing ball, like that's just part of that whole process, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's all part of that development, that relationship with each other. I mean, you hold each other accountable and you ask a lot of each other and demand a lot of each other. And Josh has just been phenomenal. I mean, his professionalism for a young guy is just tremendous.
When you say diving into the deep stuff with him, can you give us kind of an example?
Well, it's just the communication that those two have during a game is a lot. Whether you're talking about protection adjustments, whether you're talking about cadence adjustments, especially now when you get on the road. Now we're going to have those environments where we're going to have to use silent counts and stuff. So their communication has got to be on point. And whether Josh is making an adjustment or whether Aaron's making an adjustment, there's a lot of stuff that kind of goes into that. And so it's been really cool the last couple of weeks to watch those two kind of start to gel.
Luke, I think you might be the only one that was here when Corey was a rookie, right? At 14, I think was your first year.
Mm-hmm.
And, he had to do it going into Seattle, and it worked smoothly, obviously. What do you remember about that situation that, made it work so well?
I think a lot of it is just the type of guy Corey is, and I think Josh has a little bit of that too. I think, the confidence in themselves, and they're intelligent guys. The moment wasn't too big for whatever they experienced before. They had a belief in and Corey had a belief in his in his ability, and then on top of it, he's a really smart guy. So that was really cool because when JC went down in that preseason, and Corey he didn't blink. So, and Josh has a lot of that in him, man. He's been awesome since the day he's got here.
Have you noticed Aaron get antsy at all this training camp?
Antsy.
As in just ready to
Get after it? Yeah, no, he's excited. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's been a really cool progression this whole camp. Just kind of coming into this thing and kind of just slowly building and getting better every single day. How much stuff he's putting on everybody. I think last week was really cool where you got to see him. He's starting to feel what's on the horizon now. So he's having those conversations with the receivers that he wants to have. About specific routes or specific splits or what he wants something to look like or what he's going to audible to in these certain situations. So, yeah, I think he's ready to rock and roll.
Did you kind of notice some coaching characteristics in him in his future maybe? I mean, that's his route.
He's been awesome, man. He really has. His communication with, I could specifically talk about Jordan and Kurt. Man, he's been phenomenal this camp with helping build those guys up and talking footwork and talking where their eyes should be. I mean, he's been really good this camp.
I know Matt used the word teachable moment with the interception. By the same token, he almost threw another one later and kind of, well, not, it was a little bit similar.
Yeah, very similar. Very
So
similar, yeah.
is it troublesome that there's a teachable moment and then, but he didn't learn a lesson from it?
Well, I think like the hardest thing for young guys to do is to let a play go, right? He feels like he can make a play every single time he has the opportunity, and so that when you talk about teachable moment, that's where slowing the game down, right? The interception was on 1st and 10, right? We got 3 more downs to go get. The other one, it's later and down. We get to kick a field goal, and so I sat him down right after that one, the second opportunity, and I just said, hey, dude, look, it's only 13-0. You've had 200 yards of offense in the first half. You're kicking butt. Look at how important the ball is in this league. And so I think it was, those moments when you just kind of sit back and just say, look, this thing could be 13-10 or whatever. That's what he didn't get last year. We're not having preseason and all that stuff. So really glad he was able to get that. That's, to me, the biggest, like taking in the whole picture, and seeing how valuable the ball is and just let it move on and let's get to the next play and see what happens.
2 more in here.
And now that, he's had that preseason of experience, you guys have been able to just analyze so much more. How do you goal set for Love? When the goal is for him to just be behind Rodgers all season, how do you set those progressive goals for him this year?
Well, part of that is him, learning how to now prepare to be a starter in this league. And now, so, where last year he just kind of got to sit back and watch, and we had Tim in the room too, where he can learn from. Now it's his turn to kind of really step up in the room and have a bigger role in our game plan and have a bigger role in, finding things for Aaron on film and say, hey, these are some keys, these are some tips. So the mental part of the game, and that's, one thing I imagine Aaron would say when his 3 years he's sitting behind Brett, he dove into the game that way and just, he mastered that craft. And so that's kind of where Jordan's got to go now. The mental side of it, he's got to dominate. And then when we're in the practice field, he's got to dominate and take advantage of all those repetitions that he'll get against our defense or those moments where he'll take reps for our offense too. So, but I mean, he's got a lot of work to do, and I think there's a lot of opportunities to grow mentally and physically as we go through this season to help him prepare for whenever his opportunity is.
Whether he's on the roster or not, is Kurt a legit NFL quarterback?
Yeah, I think he proved that this preseason. I don't remember watching a lot of Kurt before he got here, but I think since he's got here, he's gotten better every single day. I think he handled our offense. The moment's not too big for him. He handles the communication. He handles the guys really well. And so, yeah, I was very pleased with Kurt's progression throughout the time the short time he's been here. I think he's been really good for us.
Sarah, go ahead on Zoom.
Luke, from the day that Jordan Love stepped into the off-season program to now, what was the most you felt like you accomplished with him? And then just to follow up on that, what is the most he can get out of running the scout team from this point on?
Well, I think when you're on the scout team, we'll start with that one first. Those are leadership opportunities, right? So he's going to command a huddle. He's going to have 10 other guys looking at him. He's going to talk about the play that they're going to run, and he's going to ask things of those guys and demand things of those guys in that huddle. So to me, every rep he takes on a scout team is another opportunity for him to prove his leadership skills within those guys. And then we try to do our best to make every play similar to what we do in our offense. So he's going to get to play the plays the way we play them, the way we talk about them, the way we read them out. So he'll get those opportunities. He's had a lot of progression. I think, one cool moment in the game the other day is a 3rd down, and, he changed the protection. We did our O-line, and running back did a great job picking it up. He saw the rotation away, and then he threw it to Malik just on the side on a simple play. It was like 3rd and 10 or something like that, and we got, a 14, 15-yard gain. But those moments right there where he was in complete control of the cadence, complete control of the protection, really good footwork, great timing and rhythm, and it was a really accurate football. So those moments like that just prove, his progression. He wouldn't have done that, a couple months ago.
And last one, Aaron Naylor.
Luke,
we saw Jordan get the Bills to jump a number of times yesterday. Is the hard count something he had coming in? Is that something he's developed? You've seen it a few times during practice, but it really seemed like he had good control of it yesterday.
Yeah, no, he did a nice job, and some of that was even silent cadence, using kind of the little bit of weaponry that Aaron, he watches Aaron do all the time, and it's something that we really spend a lot of time on, and honestly, Aaron takes the reins of that. You know, before every practice, we do a quarterback center exchange, and we work on our cadence, both the verbal cadence and the silent cadence. So that's something that we want everybody to sound like Aaron, so that the offensive line can feel, that common sound, that common rhythm. So we want to make sure that everything sounds the same, and he's done a nice job. And yeah, it paid off. Shoot, we got a free play, right? That was a big play.